breakfast of champions. Okay people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight I'm taking a look at the Bandai Spirits SH Figuarts Star Wars A New Hope Princess Leia Organa. Organa? I should know this by now. Looking at the package, it's your standard SH Figuarts fare. The black, the silver for the original trilogy, the figure. You can't quite see everything in the window, but it looks like it's all in there. On the side, promotional shot of the figure, more logos, more stuff. On the back, pretty promotional shots of the figure. Accessories, poses, options, faces, stuffs. On the other side, continuing the silver motif, Star Wars logo, silver. On the bottom, warnings, some legalese, your winning lottery numbers, but let's see what's going on in here. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is the one that I've been waiting for. Sure, it was nice to get all the other original trilogy characters in SH Figuarts, and I'm not complaining about that at all, but Leia was the biggie. One, she's a female, and it seemed like they waited a while before they got into the females, and two, she's one of the main characters of the movie, so waiting this long, kind of a pain in my ass, but ooh, getting it in hand finally, it's like I won a lottery or something. Protective covering over the front. Figure doesn't seem to have a lot of the plastic in between the joints and such. How's she stand? Oh, right out of the package. Look at that. Here at an angle too, I was kind of seeing Padme in this face. Not anymore because she decided to look away. Instructions, extra hands, how to flip out the face parts. Oh man, the buns come off. Looks like the blasters slip right into her hand, removing the head, putting on the hood piece. And again, kind of looking like Padme there, which without the head buns, maybe it's the hairstyle more than anything. And there we go. I've had a chance to mess around with it for a couple of hours and I love it. There wasn't any question in my mind that that would happen, but it's not perfect. Not that any action figure ever is, but let's just do this. Looking at the sculpt, because it's plastic robes, it's very reminiscent of what we see in the movie, because with plastic, you can make it drape like it's supposed to at this tinier scale. And I say tiny, it's not the tiniest scale, but it's smaller than 1/1. The belt's sculpted across here, but essentially the rest of the body, besides the hands and the boots, is robes. And like I said, that's what we see in the movie until the final scene. It's cast in white, there's no wash, there's nothing to bring out detail, but the sculpt is so crisp that any lighting conditions, you're gonna get that draped robe look. Now under here, just for reference sake, you do have sculpted underwear. There's a wrinkle going across there. You have the bare leg with a knee sculpt, and you have a full-on boot sculpt. And there you do have a little brown wash to it. It's very faint. It's just to give a little idea that she's been trudging along somewhere that's dirty, even though it didn't get up on the robes. Maybe she has several sets of robes, one pair of boots. She's a thrifty princess. This not being cloth on the back, this hood that's down, it's gonna lay right. That's one of the problems with cloth. It doesn't wanna lay right. In plastic, you do get that laid down look. And then there is the head. Figuarts does a great job of printing details on and such, but I feel like here, it's a little lifeless. The likeness is there in places. You get a certain angle and you can definitely see Carrie. But I don't know if it's the eyes or the eyeliner or something. Something just makes it look kind of like the end of Rogue One. It's close, but not quite there. The hair and the buns, on the other hand, oh, I feel like they nailed that. It's not overdone, it's not sticking out too much, but at the same time, it's definitely why you got cinnamon rolls on the side of your head. And while we have it zoomed in super close, here is the Black Series A New Hope Princess Leia, and, well, the second version, the vintage carded one with the better face paints. Figuarts definitely beats that. But I don't know if I can say the same about Hasbro's photoreal process. It's not perfect, but they gave her kind of that puppy dog-eyed look. It's bigger pupils and iris. The skin tone's a little bit lifelike. The shininess to the eyes and lips. They both still come across as toys. There's no getting around that because they are toys. Now, let's get into the plastic robes. Yes, this is gonna look better than cloth. I mean, draping at 6-inch scale cloth, some companies do it well, some companies don't. But here, Hasbro's looks like it's wearing a potato sack. It's just too baggy, and it doesn't lay right. Figuarts definitely has the upper hand because of the sculpted robes. But with cloth, you're gonna get a lot more articulation. In plastic, when it's simulating baggy robes like this, you're going to get some hindrance in the articulation department. The elbow has a dumbbell joint in there. I don't know if they did that to try to get more articulation, but because of the joint, you're only going to get 90. Even pulling it forward, trying to get a little bit more, nope, still 90. But most of all, traffic cone. Plastic laying down here, unless it's just super, super soft, it's going to get in the way of leg articulation. They try to split it as many times as possible. There's 1, 2 on the front and then 1 in the back, but because of how the back one is shaped, you don't get a lot of flex out of it, which is a shame because the legs do have quite a bit of motion to them. But most poses where you're going to get down, it's going to look like sheets of metal sticking out like this. Or if you try to get into a crunch, the skirt's going to act like a cone, hence traffic cone. It's not going to let it go down any further than the dress allows it. Going over articulation, there is a pop-off dumbbell joint in the neck and then a ball joint at the bottom of the neck. So together, even with this collar piece on here that is separate, look down, you can look up, tilt, dumbbell joint in the shoulders with a cap coming out to hide the articulation. You get forward, you get back, you get up, you get down, you get out, rotation around, and on the outside of that you do get rotation at the shoulder. Single elbow, 90 degrees. That's a shame. Swivel hinge swivel at the wrist. It goes one direction and you can get that to turn, come around, go any direction you want to go. Ball joint at the waist does crunch forward, arcs back, tilt. As you can see, there's not actually a waist piece right there when you're dealing with the waist. You can see it rotating up inside the skirt piece right there. That comes down to the hips in a Y-type joint. So the legs do come forward, back, out. You have a rotation at the hip. Single knee comes about right there. Hinge at the ankle goes back, goes forward. There is sort of a forward-facing ball joint up in there, so you can get tilt. Then the toe joint goes up to about right there. For accessories, Leia comes with 2 relaxed hands. She comes with 2 weapon weight holding hands, and then she comes with 2 trigger finger hands. And man, oh man, at first I thought, oh, this is tight as hell, but as I've been changing them out, it's gotten easier because oh, look at that tiny wrist joint. I haven't felt that fear yet of breaking it off, but there has been a couple times where I've thought, oh, you better be careful and know which direction the hole in the hand goes. The hole goes up towards the thumb, so don't try to push straight on. But she comes with her blaster from the first of the movie, a small, this is Princess Leia's gun to me. I don't know the numbers, I don't know the designation, I don't know who makes it in the Star Wars universe, but this is Princess Leia's gun. And then she comes with a Stormtrooper blaster, the E11 I think it's called. And both are good sculpts, just cast in a shiny black plastic, no paint apps to them at all. The E11 is a little bit too easy to slip into her hand. There's nothing to hold it in there really. So when you're posing around, which because of the limited elbows, isn't as great a range as you would hope. When you try to get the other hand on it in poses, it likes to push up out of the hand. But the Princess Leia blaster, the PLB, fits great. This hand was made for this gun specifically. The grip is the right size, it goes in, and because of this little notch right here, it doesn't like to slip out as much. Ends up looking like a badass with it. Now there is the neutral face, we talked about it, the likeness is good, not great. But to change that out, I've been actually popping the head off. The side buns come off. You can see that they are marked just in case, but on top of that, the pegs are also shaped with a notch stick out of the rectangle. But we get to here and oh man, this is tight. At first, it almost felt like it was glued together. It took a lot of prying to get it apart. Essentially, there's a big ass peg that goes into the back of the face. And with that, you can put the alternate face on here. And the alternate head is kind of her defiant look. Or that looking down the hallway with her blaster look. I like it. It works well, but it's very specific. You're going to use it for one pose and, well, maybe 2 and 2 only. And then besides that, you pop the head off. You can take this down hood piece off. The instructions say to put the up hood piece on and then kind of wedge the head in there and pop it onto the neck joint. What I've been doing is getting the dumbbell straightened out, lining it up with the neck hole in the hood, and just doing it all at the same time. Pops on, then you kind of rotate, get that gap out of there. That looks fantastic. Cloth hoods like to float up, like to stick up, don't like to drape down right. This hits her hairstyle perfectly, comes down, hangs on the shoulders. Yeah, you can ask for a better look with the hood up. In fact, I'll probably leave the hood on and in a neutral pose most of the time because of her inability to strike a lot of action poses. One thing to mention though, I don't know why they made the side hair buns removable when you can take the face off without taking them off. Wait, do they get in the way? What's going on right here? They don't help to lock the face on or anything. Maybe it's just a convenience thing. Not sure. Getting her stood up in a neutral stance, that's where the skirt gets in the way. It likes to push the legs really close together, and then you're trying to fight it and get in there. Get around it, get the ankles turned right, but it's not impossible. I can gripe about plastic robes and such, but then you get this. Here are all the Star Wars A New Hope SH Figuarts figures, except for Han's head. This is a custom casting cave head. I just like it way better than the stock SH Figuarts Han head, which I can't find at the moment. But look at all this matching. Oh, how this goes together. Oh my god. Just a couple of years ago, we were just hoping for 6-inch Star Wars action figures, and now this? Totally worth the wait. Oh yeah, Obi-Wan has a custom cloth robe on too. She could be a little bit shorter, I feel. I think Carrie Fisher was, at least compared to Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford, a little bit shorter. But still, relative scale, she is shorter. It's not like she's the same height as Luke, so it does work. I almost hate to take this down because it looks so good. Here she is with the SH Figuarts Darth Vader. Again, I have my problems with this. I have my problems with this, but man, here she is with most of the other Leias in my collection, which are essentially, well, they're all Black Series figures. And then just to give you an idea, here is the SH Figuarts Rey and Figuarts Padme. Same stylings, you can see the face paint. It's par for the course. It's what we've gotten used to with Figuarts over the years. And then as always, here she is with Gus. Little lady, you are in luck today. Dashing good looks, gray beard, accent. Who else would I be? Of course I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi. So at the end of the day, not the most action-y of action figures, but damn if it doesn't look good. I understand a lot of people don't like cloth, and this is what you've been waiting for right here. Princess Leia in a plastic robe. Me, I don't mind mixing and matching. There's some cloth I don't like, some cloth I do, some plastic I don't like, some plastic I do. I think in a perfect world right here, if there were some kind of cloth that would match the plastic texture, which I know I'm asking for some scientific breakthrough invention just so action figures can have real clothes on. But if there were some way to keep the torso and the hood plastic here, and then the arms and the legs would be covered in cloth, if it would match all the way through, I'd be super happy. But that's also speaking on most action figures in general. If you could get a mix of cloth and plastic to look fantastic together, we wouldn't be in this predicament right now. So as is, standing on the shelf, the SH Figuarts now takes it. It's not going to do running poses, she's not going to kneel, she's not going to be kung fu fighting all over the place. But she will look regal as hell standing in with the rest of my Star Wars figures. I kind of want to see Hasbro do a photo reel of A New Hope Leia now, and then I would take that head, put it on this body, unless they did something miraculous with their body. So I'm not quite there yet. I have grown to like the photo reel more. So totally worth picking up. This is my new Leia. But in the future, like most of my Star Wars figures, if improvements come along, I'll roll with those too. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh.